himself worse if you go and
What's up, everybody? It's the Friendly Weirdo again, and today what we are doing is we're going to read the Christian Weston. Sorry about that. We're going to read the Christian Weston Chandler's Sonichu Quickie, which I've been wanting to do this ever since I found out who Christian Weston Chandler is, and this is going to be fun. Let's start with the quote here. I am the high-functioning autistic person who was heavily emotionally damaged. Artistic inspiration lost with paranoia, deception, blackmail, and plain hurtful words from those bottom-feeding trolls. I am the hand-drawn original creator of Sonichu, Rosechu, in the city of Quickville, Virginia, U.S. of A. All right. Whatever. Okay, this is Christine Weston Chandler, born on the 24th of February in 1982, also known as Chris Chan, is a 38-year-old autistic, mentally stunted, love how they cross out man-child over there, lesbian trans woman, former virgin with rage, that always cracks me up, and the creator of the infamous Sonichu. In late 2007, he became internet famous when he caught the attention of 4chan and Encyclopedia Dramatica. Initial fascination was spurred on by his signature homemade Sonichu medallion, his childlike artwork featuring his unoriginal Sonic recolor, and in his history of loitering in public places while literally holding up a sign asking women to talk to him. His reaction to the ensuing mockery led to a spiral of even greater scrutiny of his life, revealing more disturbing facts about him. Okay, so I'm not going to go over the overview because that's what I'm going to be doing in a series of videos, but oh my god, I just want to point out this fucking picture here of him blowing his fucking drink. That just cracks me up every time I see it. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna read about his early life and his adult chronicles, and then in other videos I'm gonna do a discovery, like in the main articles, like you see right here. I'm gonna be reading those main articles in future videos. But I want to do something right after this, which is reading about Megan Schroeder, because I just feel so bad for that woman. And once you find out about what this idiot did, you will too. But anyway, let's get on to this. On the 24th of February, 1982, Chris was born to Robert and Barbara Chandler. He was born in the United States, specifically in the state of Virginia, and of course is a citizen of the United States. Not much was known about Chris in his toddler years, but the signs of autism didn't creep up until he was older. At the time, he was a pretty normal kid. And I love this picture here in his childhood and adolescence thing right here because it just morphs his childhood face into his adult face. It's very creepy, and it kind of caught me off guard the first time I saw it. Anyway, Chris claims his first word was monkey, which was spoken at 6 years old, and he remains proud of this feat into his 30s. No, it's one of the few good things he actually has to his name, regardless of how obviously unlikely and physically impossible it is to be true. Well, there that goes. The language centers of the human brain literally cannot grasp English at 6 weeks, disregarding infantile vocal cords. An abusive babysitter who was alone with Christopher every day for years allegedly locked him in a room at an early age. Chris apparently misses the irony in the fact that he now locks himself in a room. Yeah, but he wants to do that now. It's different. He once identified this confinement as the source of his autism. Oh my god. Between the ages of 1 and 7, Chris did not speak at all and had to visit James Madison University for speech therapy. He was diagnosed as being autistic while the doctor projecting, at least according to Chris, that he would never make it to high school, much less be able to write his own name. During the 1980s, Christopher was playmates with Sarah Nicole Hammer, no relation to Alexander Hammerstone. One day, she convinced him that Casper the Friendly Ghost lived in the crawlspace under her house. And when he crawled in there to look, she locked him in. Oh my god, getting Chris's lifelong career at getting trolled. Well, at least he started at an early age. Apparently, he doesn't hold any hard feelings over it, possibly just because she's a girl. If a guy did that to him, Chris would vow vengeance. Probably leave him a bunch of fucking phone calls and curses at him too. Fucking idiot. In 1989, noted Ursine, I don't know what the fuck that says, conductor Leonard Bearstein misheard Christopher's first name and called him Christian, which inexplicably convinced Christopher to later have his name legally changed. I don't know why, because Christopher and Christian, it's kind of the same thing. Like, his father can just call him Christian in like a nickname or some shit. Like, I don't get why he had to have his name legally changed. This is fucking stupid.
Chris spent the 1990-1991 school year in the 4th grade at Nathaniel Green Elementary School until his parents pulled him out of classes over a mysterious dispute. Chris claims that he was forcibly restrained by the school's faculty, I don't know why I said facility there, and that he was made to sit on the lap of the principal, an experience that supposedly inspired his homophobia. It's possible that Chris's opinions about these events are colored more by his parents' attitudes than his own memories. The issue went to court, and with Greene County seeking to have Chris sent to a special school. Well, Bob and Barbara likely interpreted to mean which Bob and Barbara likely interpreted to mean a nut house. Chris was homeschooled through 5th grade during these proceedings. When his family exhausted all legal recourse, Chris and his father relocated to Richmond so that Chris could continue his education in a different school system, starting with the 6th grade in the fall of 1992. At age 11, Chris entered and won the Sonic the Hedgehog Watch and Win sweepstakes. On his 12th birthday, he enjoyed a $1,000 shopping spree as his prize. WVIR TV's coverage of the event focused on Chris's autism, regarding the contest win as a worthy accomplishment due to his mental condition. It's really not, even with or without that. That's just bullshit. Chris put footage from the newscast onto YouTube long before he was known to the general public, and it remains the most solid evidence that he is not an elaborate troll. This incident is often cited as the beginning of Chris's tendency to use his autism as leverage for special treatment, as well as his fascination with toys and video games at the expense of more mature pursuits. It has also led Chris to constantly enter contests in hopes of winning big, or else becoming infuriated and belligerent to the winners when he loses. Oh, that was funny. Okay, let's see these pictures. As a baby, he was unusually ugly. It looks like he was just born, actually. That's kind of unkind. At age 3, he was actually a pretty cute kid. Yeah, he looks nice. He looks normal, and he looks happy. That's very nice. Holding a prototype Sonichu ball. I can't tell what that is because he's covering it with his hands. Chris's taste in clown shirts begin, coupled with his deer to headlight stare. I love how he still wears those shirts, would wear those shirts even when he became an adult. That's just hilarious. Chris spent much of his time in high school playing video games at home, reading Goosebumps novels, and hanging out with his gal pals and friend at school. It was at this time that he first put his creative talents to use with the invention of Bionic the Hedgehog and Sonichu. Chris claims to have been on the honor roll, and during this time acquired the true source of his powers, his amethyst ring. And I just watched a video by hold on, let me check what this guy's name is, because I actually haven't memorized his name yet, even though I've been watching some of his Sonichu stuff. Hold on. By Dillin Thomas, who was been entertaining, by the way. That he's actually just mispronouncing amethyst. So it's not a new thing, and I was just being fucking stupid when I was thinking it was a new thing. Whatever. Because the art award he wanted was given to somebody else, Chris stormed out crying during his high school graduation. Oh my God. He honestly thought he deserved the award more than anyone else because he worked on it so hard in spite of his autism. Another reason for his sorrow was his fear that he might soon have to grow up and start acting like an adult. Evidently, this fear was unfounded. Since leaving high school in the happiest years of his life, Chris has been unwilling and unable to progress in any aspect of his life. He remains trapped in that childish year 2000 time stasis, as he believes that whatever he was doing at the time was what helped him attract female companions. That his high school gal pals have moved on and married real adult men with careers is of little consequence to him. All right, let's see. CWC the water boy. Pro tip: don't drink anything from one of Chris's cups. And hard to believe, but this photo has not been airbrushed to perfection. But I don't know what that means. But he actually looks kind of semi-normal in that one. Okay, let's move on to the adult chronicles. Chris's entry into Piedmont Virginia Community College, or the PVCC, probably eased his inability to cope with life after high school. He took courses in computer-aided drafting and design and began spending more time on Sonichu, launching a newsletter and circulating it on the PVCC campus. I actually wonder how popular that newsletter was. Like, I've been watching several things about about Christian, and it's like I've never known how popular they were. Like, I assume they weren't really all that popular, but still, it'd be kind of nice to know, like, if they ever were popular and if people actually gave half a shit. By his own, oh no, that's wrong. Over time, he began losing touch with his gal pals from high school, which probably was like a godsend to them. And he presumably found that the college junior college crowd less willing to humor him, and his personal idiosyncrasies. By his own admission, his social life at PVCC was lacking when compared to his high school years. Chris says he decided that he needed a sweetheart in February 2003, possibly driven by his discovery that his old friend Sarah Hammer had begun dating Wes Isley. Chris started his love quest in earnest that summer. You know what? I might want to do a video on that love quest alone because god damn, that love quest is so entertaining. I don't know which one to do first, honestly, the Love Quest or Megan Schroeder, but I'll think of it. I'll probably decide of it soon. However, he quickly found that every girl he talked to had a boyfriend, or so they claimed. Chris soon became neurotic about the infinitely high boyfriend factor and began concocting and employing various bizarre methods to attract women without actually having an approach or speaking to them. And actually, he actually came up with a word for having a fear of a girl you're talking to having a boyfriend already. I forget its name, but I heard he based this word off of the Spanish word for boyfriend because he for some reason really just wanted to show off that he took Spanish in high school. Like it was some big accomplishment, and he would just do Spanish all the time. It's so weird. I never got why he did that. But Chris is a fucking enigma anyway, so Chris's most celebrated technique involving sitting in one place or pacing back and forth for hours, holding a sign that said, "I am a variable age-year-old single male seeking an 18-year-old female companion that's single." Amazingly, the strategy accomplished nothing beyond getting him into trouble with various authority figures who believed that he was loitering and or soliciting sex, which was legally true. Chris was particularly affected by a series of confrontations with the PVCC Dean Mary Lee Walsh over his attraction techniques, resulting in an ongoing, completely one-sided blood feud involving magical curses and slander. I feel so bad for that poor woman, like having to deal with this bullshit. After a series of confrontations featuring bizarre increasingly bizarre and threatening behavior on Chris's part, Walsh expelled him for a year in 2004. He evidently returned, however, obtaining an associate's degree in May of 2006. Hold on a minute. After college, Chris promptly dropped out of society, devoting his life to finding a boyfriend for a girl, drawing Sonichu, masturbating, which was his word for masturbating for some stupid reason, and using his wealth for money to buy video games and sex toys. In 2005, Chris met Megan Schroeder at a local game and card shop, and a social outcast like himself met. Was she really a social outcast? I don't know. Meg proved unusual in that she was willing to talk to Chris for more than 5 minutes. The two quickly became close friends, although Megan claimed to have recently endured a bad breakup and refused to entertain Chris's obvious romantic interest. Chris seemingly basing his stance on studying women in porn and anime. Oh my god, believing that the key to turning Megan's platonic feelings into romantic was to make inappropriate advances towards her until she had to tell him to stop touching her. In the summer of 2007, Chris put it all on the line by entering the Parappa the Rapper contest so that he could win prizes and a trip to Seattle, which formed the centerpiece of his plan to finally score with Megan. The contest ended in disaster for Chris as he lost to the dreaded Adam Stackhouse and subsequently learned that Megan would not have gone with him even if he had won. It was during this love quest that Chris was inspired to launch Sonichu, a comic book series featuring his electric hedgehog Pokemon. Ostensibly, the comic was intended to focus on the life and times of Chris's unbelievably original character, but by halfway through the first issue, the focus of the story had become Chris and his myriad of romantic adventures. And I want to make videos about those, about his I want to do a video about his freaking comics that were inspired by his real life. So hopefully I can find them on DeviantArt. Hopefully somebody archived them because I want to read those so badly because the way he just puts off his own reality is just fucking hilarious. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and this will not be the last Sonichu video I make. Oh, no, because this is way too interesting to pass up. But anyway, I am the friendly weirdo, and I am going to sign